Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing this beautiful Friday morning? We are in collaboration this morning with CapetownMagazine.com, Kaapstad Magazine Puntenel. It's really nice to see you all here. We are streaming live from Cape Town, from our homes, where we all are still in lockdown, stage 4 lockdown in South Africa at the moment. Welcome to all of you watching from around the world. I know we'll have people tuning in from the Netherlands. We'll have people tuning in from Germany. That's super exciting. And yeah, it's really good to see you all. We've got a packed show today. Everyone right from superstars based in LA, right through to local businesses here in Cape Town. And so welcome everyone to the Lockdown. We are GoodLuck. We are an electronic band based in Cape Town. And what's super cool about this opportunity for us is that we managed to take the whole situation with musicians that we're not able to gig at the moment and create this little show that is intended just to bring a little bit of light into your morning, a little bit of happiness into your day, and bring you positive news, share good vibes, and share the best in what local businesses in Cape Town and in South Africa are doing at the moment. So we're going to start off with the first business that we're going to feature today, which is It's All Our Business. And today is very exciting. We have an awesome service, one that I use on the regular. Ben actually is a very, very big fan of this product and the service. And obviously we all know that digital shopping and online shopping has become like a thing since lockdown came into being. We don't really want to go out. We want to go out as little as possible. We want to shop, but we still want to get good local produce, but we don't want to have to go out for it. So this company is called Buy Fresh. They're based in Cape Town. They literally only launched about a year and a bit ago. I have to be stand corrected, but they deliver farm fresh produce to your door from the farms, straight from the farms all the way to the door. And we're going to kick off with a little video to explain what they do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Buy Fresh.
Fresh.co.za is an online grocery delivery service like no other. Gone are the days of endlessly trawling through the grocery stores, waiting in queues and hassling for parking. At Buy Fresh, you get farm fresh, organic and ethically sourced products delivered straight to your door in our eco-friendly packaging. Everything from meat and fish to artisanal bread, cheeses, pantry staples, craft beers and wines. We've got it all at an affordable price. Head to buyfresh.co.za and place your first order for same-day delivery. Buy fresh from farm to fork, delivered.
So you can see they are an awesome company because they're doing ethically sourced meat and locally grown vegetables, and they deliver it from the farms to your door. I personally use their service quite a lot, and I love their produce. I think it's very tasty. You can taste it's happy food, which is great. And I think now in this time more than ever, we're having to support local farmers. We're having to support local companies, and so where you guys can, where possible, get behind these local businesses that are trying to make a difference and that are trying to help us during this COVID-19 pandemic. And I think Buy Fresh is doing an incredible job with that. And so on the line today, we've got Asher, who is the founder. I believe it's the father-son company, actually, that was kicked off here from Cape Town. And I think we've got Asher on the line. Asher, can you hear me? Hi, how are you? Very good. Listen, can I just start by saying we found out about you guys about a year ago. It might have been in the very beginning. I'm not exactly sure when your company was started, but it might have been quite soon to the beginning. And someone recommended we buy our meat from Buy Fresh, and we haven't looked back. I mean, the meat is just incredibly high quality. Like I said earlier, it tastes happy, which is wonderful. And I mean, you guys it felt like you just sprung up out of nowhere during the lockdown, but you have been going a little bit before that. Tell us how you started and tell us what Buy Fresh is all about.
restaurants and other venues with high quality meats and poultry products. And since I ever could remember, there's always been, these products at our home. And, when friends and family came over to come and visit us, or we were entertaining, it was always there was always the comments passed around about how amazing the food always was, or how fresh the produce always was. And, that kind of stuck with me. And when I kind of looked into it a bit deeper, I saw that there was an opportunity to kind of connect all these amazing small farmers and local businesses with discerning customers around the nearby suburbs, essentially. And that's kind of how the idea for Buy Fresh was born. And it's kind of just been, it's kind of just skyrocketed from there. I mean, we went from, a couple hundred meat and poultry products to, over 1,000 different products, ranging from organic veggies to sustainably caught fish to alcohol and wines, which are obviously not available right now during lockdown. But, we've got a full spectrum of products that you would kind of expect to do during a grocery shop, which are all available in one place.
That's awesome.
Which we are very excited about.
I think that this lockdown must have been an incredible opportunity for you guys. Everyone wants to know, how did you find sales just boom from March? Like, what happened? Was it suddenly just out the blue? Everyone was ordering online. Remember, we had that what do we call it, panic buying spree that happened in just before the lockdown went ahead. And I know I think a lot of online retailers were affected in a positive way. How did you guys find it, and how did you respond?
So I think, just to take a step back before I go into that question, I think, first and foremost, part of the heritage that my dad's brought into the business is to focus on an exceptional quality product and a high quality service. And I think that is the most important thing that we've been trying to carry throughout, running our business. And, during times of, high demand, things should be no different. And we were caught off slightly during the panic buying period, as the pandemic kind of took hold, and we were a bit unprepared for it, and our systems were not geared to kind of handle that initial volume shock. But we managed to make sure that customers were getting their orders relatively close to when they needed them, and we kind of spent about a period of a week making sure that we fulfilled all of the orders that kind of came in during that first week of crisis.
When you say just tell me, when you say the initial increase in orders, how much are we talking? I'm just interested to know. Was it you were getting 100 a month and then you got 1,000 a month, or what was the differential like? Was it overwhelming, or was it manageable?
So in a single day, we probably 5x our daily numbers on the first day of the pandemic. But in terms of when the market started to react to it, should I say, which was obviously a really really insane thing to see. But obviously, at the end of the day, you have to be able to execute and deliver on your promises. So It's all very well taking in the volume. But if you're not able to fulfill the customer's orders within your promise, or within clearly communicated extended promise, then you're letting your customers down. And I think we learned very quickly that we're here for the next 5 to 10 years, and we're not looking to have a quick small win during the current crisis. And we're looking to build a modern grocery brand, a modern national grocery brand that our customers can shop at and find quality products at, and get an exceptional quality service from for an extended period of time past this current lockdown.
Sure. We have a packed show today, so I only have a couple more questions. But Ash, I just wanted to ask you, how are you finding supporting the farmers at the moment? Are they needing support? Because obviously we've been doing a big food drive on our side, and we've been trying as far as possible to get our supplies and our vegetables directly from the farms. Are you finding that you guys are, helping a situation that is struggling, or are you finding that they're actually doing all right during this time? I just want to see, what is the lay on the land, the people that are actually producing and farming right now?
No, absolutely. Farmers are under extreme pressure. It's actually, it's actually was quite bad during the initial lockdown, but it's not getting any better anytime soon. And I think it's super important for consumers and for the wider public to continue to support local businesses and small businesses. I think the effects of what's you're currently seeing at the moment is only the beginning, and there's going to be a material knock-on effect that's going to kind of get worse and worse and potentially snowball. And I think that, especially for farmers that rely on, restaurants or other access to market besides the retailers, they've lost, up to 50% of their businesses overnight, essentially. So I think
we have
there is a need for
support local.
I think so, and I think it's bigger than you think. Farmers are unable to export products. There's excess supply. There's a big knock-on effect to the farmers that are actually raising, the livestock to what actually goes, through the supply chain, and it is going to have a deeper knock-on effect. And I think it's super important that we all stay conscious of this, and we do whatever we can to support each other and other businesses during this time.
On that, what can we do as a consumer? What is the best thing we can do to help the situation?
I think it's the most important thing is for everyone to get back into somewhat of a routine. And I think it's going to be like a slow start, and everyone needs to kind of just do what they can. I've seen some amazing initiatives where people are going out of their way to do food drives and to collect items to give out to people in need. I think it's super important that you do support your local businesses as well. And when other businesses start reopening during the different levels of lockdown, when they get more relaxed, I think it's important that you go and you support your local businesses, whether it's a restaurant, a coffee shop, a grocery store, and beyond. It's really important, and it comes down to all of us kind of coming together as as a community to do what we can.
I hear you. I agree. And I mean, we've also been through the lockdown, we've been raising funds for a few community projects. And straight away, when we started collecting the funds, I was very conscious of the fact that, we have to make sure we obviously get the products as cheaply as possible so that the money can stretch as far as possible, but also that we are supporting local farms. And we've just been trying our best to source, from the farmers that are kind of the most in need at the moment, because they're bigger farms and they're smaller farms, and obviously we want to make sure that as many farmers can get through this time. As you said, it's a difficult time for everybody. So
100%.
Asha, thank you so much for coming on the show and for telling us about your awesome brand. I can completely get behind what you're doing. We have been sort of championing your product just in the background for a while. I had a delivery the other day, and what is so cool is just the way that the method that you guys have for delivery as well. So conscious. They really are quick. The packaging is very slick. You don't use a lot of plastic. You come in with your delivery people all wear gloves and masks and have hand sanitizer. They sanitize you. They sanitize the bag. It's very, very professional, and they're in and out as fast as possible. And I think you guys obviously have your systems down on that front. So I hope that lots of people, everyone watching, if you're in Cape Town, do support Buy Fresh. They're a wonderful brand. And thank you so much for being on the lockdown this morning.
No problem. I just want to maybe just leave with just a note on, I guess I didn't quite mention earlier when you were asking what can we do. Buy Fresh from the beginning has been a business that's wanting to make a difference from a socially impactful perspective. And, from the moment that we launched our business, we partnered with Food Forward SA, which is one of the largest food aggregators nationally that helps to move mainly distressed stock from retailers and other pieces of the supply chain to hungry South Africans. And with every order that you place on Buy Fresh, we donate a meal to the organization to feed someone in need. And that's been happening since we launched our business in 2018, and we've made a very big difference. And wherever possible, we do support their other initiatives and things like that. We've done big campaigns for Mandela Day, where we donated 1 kilogram of meat plus the 67 that we've donated to them for each order that we received on our site. And I think it's super important that there's one last message that I put out there, is that I like to encourage my peers and fellow entrepreneurs to find ways to add socially impactful elements to business models. A little bit from everyone can go a long way for other people. And I think it's all important that we come together to make big changes for the long term, and not just address the the short-term crisis.
Yeah, we've been saying that for a while. Asha, thank you so much. And guys, if you don't know who they are, check them out, buyfresh.co.za. They're on, you'll see at the bottom there, you can click to, or you can copy that little link there and check them out on all the social media platforms. Thank you so much for all you're doing. Asha, it's been lovely to have you on the show. Have a great Friday and weekend.
Thanks, Jules. Thanks to all the listeners. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
So that was, ladies and gentlemen, buyfresh.co.za, who are doing an amazing, amazing job at, just basically taking farm produce from the farms to the consumers and highest possible quality of everything that they supply. And I can definitely bear testament to what they do, because I'm a big supporter, and I really do enjoy their products very much. So I think we're moving on. We've got two big business segments today. I know it's quite a lot for a Friday to have all this business, but these are companies that are doing fantastic things. And I wanted to share a little bit about what they're doing in the marketplace to kind of make a difference and to kind of move into this new world and this new way of thinking. You know, I think I've said this before in the show, but I think we all realize that the lockdown really has brought out a different side to humanity that is really positive, you know. And one thing that I feel personally is that we all need to be looking forward to a sustainable future and how we can actually make sure that we're not just continuing to rape and pillage the planet for the love of money and power and greed. And I think a lot of people got wrapped up in this success race. You know, I myself included. I'm no angel, but everyone was kind of. It felt like everyone was trying to achieve the whole time, and at the expense perhaps of the planet, and at the expense of humanity. And I think we lost ourselves. You know. I think we were sick before coronavirus hit, and coronavirus has almost been like a way of us being able to take stock and check ourselves. And there are companies that are facilitating a new way of doing things, and a new way of approaching life moving forward. And that's why we wanted to have these two companies on the show, because I think what they're doing is fantastic. Up next, we're going to be talking about a company called the Valenture Institute, who are, in essence, a fully fledged online high school degree. But it's not just like homeschooling, there's a computer, sit in the corner and learn. It's quite different. And we're going to have Rob Paddock on the show. But before we do that, I think we've got a video to play you guys just to kind of show you what the Valenture Institute's all about. So check it out, Timmy.
You guys turn your videos on, please. Let's see. Oh, there you are.
Hi everyone.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Jonathan.
Enchanté. Good to meet you. I think that's everybody.
Nick, look at your setup. That's really cool.
Hi Miss. How was your weekend? My weekend was glorious.
I'm also fixing my hair.
I would like to add as many examples as you can think of.
Okay, have a look at the screen now. I've shared a screen with you.
How the water is concentrated, it allows particles to move around.
I only use like things that I could find like recycling.
In writing articles, the snow doesn't get
I have to all decided the two main things were conservation and environmental awareness.
Yeah. 3, 4, 5.
And when we go over that, there is two. This is an animatronic
Bye guys.
What a thing, guys. Sure, if you told me, when I was in high school that in 2020 there would be a massive pandemic and pretty much all kids would have to be at home, figuring out a way to learn from home and to interact from home, and universities as well. I mean, I would have been like, you're crazy. But here we are sitting in 2020 and this is a reality. And on the line, I have got the founder, Rob Paddock of the Valenture Institute. There he is. Hello.
How are you doing?
How are you this morning? I like your beard.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. I'm trying to keep up with Ben, actually.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I know.
You're outclassing me there.
I think you guys can have a total beard off. It's a good Wolverine look for Friday.
Exactly.
Rob, quickly, I'm going to let Ben, because I know you and Ben went to school together and you've got quite a long history, so I'm going to let him kind of lead this interview. Before we start, I just wanted to say, well done. I mean, this couldn't have come at a better time. You know, life has changed, completely changed. Kids have just suddenly found themselves in a totally different set of circumstances, and I think it's led all parents and all people to kind of rethink their approach to how we're living day to day, getting into traffic, taking our kids to school, leaving them at school, picking them up. You know, this is not necessarily the way things are going to be moving forward, and your company is pioneering the new schooling system. So tell us a little bit about how you started, the thought process behind what you're doing, and what it is in a nutshell.
Absolutely, and thanks for having me, Jules and Ben. Such a pleasure to be with you and with your audience this morning. I guess I have quite a long history in education and in education technology specifically. But most notably, I started a business previously called Get Smarter, when my brother Sam and I built a business that by the end of this year will have educated 200,000 students across the planet. Wow. With a 92% graduation rate, working with top universities such as Oxford, Harvard, Stanford. I mean, just a real privilege, and I think one of the biggest privileges from that experience was being able to work with the leading minds around the world in effective educational engagement delivery, using technology to its ultimate effectiveness, and so on. So really had just an incredible opportunity there. We ended up selling the business to a wonderful company called 2U back in 2017. So I took a little bit of time off and really enjoyed taking some time off. It was wonderful just to connect with family and friends and do some exercise again. Oh, it was brilliant. But quite quickly started. I mean, Jules, I'm sure you found if you don't tour for too long, so you start to get kind of itchy feet, yes. and you just.
I know that feeling.
At least for me, you want to go be impactful. You want to go and have your work actually exactly make a difference. And I think in education, we're so privileged because really, at least if your heart's in the right place, it can have the most profound you can make the most profound change to a child's trajectory for the rest of their life.
Yes.
So I've been thinking about the concept of Valenture Institute has probably been in incubation for about 10 years, but obviously just was previously very focused on the business before, which was Get Smarter. I think one of the key points and one of the key tenets of what I wanted to find, and maybe I can just reflect on my own schooling experience. And Ben and I went to the same school, a wonderful school, by the way, Ron the Bosch Boys, like a very very solid school. But I think there were two things that I found, particularly in my own schooling. The one is that I found it difficult where the school system wanted me to conform towards the norm. Like there was one homogenous idea of what a student should look like. And if you didn't fit into that picture, it was generally considered like some sort of deviation from the path, as opposed to having an experience that allowed me to increasingly find myself and my own uniqueness and my own contribution that I could make to the world. So that was something that I struggled with and always wanted an opportunity to create a new way of experiencing the school system. And the second was that I always found that in school, when you're just learning concepts for the purpose of regurgitating them under exam conditions, and what you're learning is not constantly contextualized around the world in which it would be applied, and the things that and the causes and the challenges that you actually care about. It just, it makes the most profound difference.
The other, pretty much, is what you're saying, or it did for me anyway.
Exactly, and totally. And you think about the way that learning works in the real.
Rob, it's so amazing the way you describe that, because I think that's probably like a dream of everyone who maybe struggled in school to fit into the conformity of what that structure was, to be a force for change and to create something that is so impactful on so many lives. Like, it's crazy inspiring. I mean, like, I think we all rebelled a little bit to the rigidity of what traditional education kind of put in place. And I loved how you described that, saying learning something for the point of just regurgitating it it's something that I've never been able to do. Like, and it's why I was terrible in school. Like, I would would love the principles, I'd love the concepts, I would engage on what we were learning. But when you're not being given the opportunity to apply it into something where you go like, jeepers, this is so useful, this is such an amazing concept. Not every child's mind is able to just like embrace the academia of it for the sake of the academia and then be able to regurgitate it in an exam.
Completely, Ben. Yeah, and I couldn't agree more, man. And I think that if you think about the way that learning works outside of the classroom, it's generally in response to some sort of challenge or cause that you care about, that you have an issue or something that you need to overcome. You don't necessarily have the prerequisite skills, cognitive capabilities, etc. So you then go through the process of learning those capabilities so that you can engage with the cause of the challenge that you care about, but it's always challenge driven. It's always in response to something that you intrinsically care about. And I think for me, this has been one of the biggest reflections is if I think about schooling generally, why are we not orientating students' learning around causes and challenges that they care about? And so before launching Valenture Institute, the biggest question that I wanted to answer was this next generation of leaders, the youth of today, can I do extensive market research and testing and find if there's some sort of common thread in the causes and challenges that they care about. So I set about with a very, very big market research and testing campaign globally, every continent in the world, many tens of thousands of students of our sort of age bracket that we would ideally be servicing, and was quite simply asking the question like, what do you care about? What are the things that when you're outside of this world, this kind of like fairly artificial school environment that you would actually want to put your time and energy into? And guys, what came back was just so unbelievably encouraging. At first, I thought maybe this is like virtue signaling and lip service. What came back was that the youth of today really want to make a positive impact. They want to address matters relating to social inequality, climate change, social justice. Like they really, it was amazing to see beyond just their feedback, the fact that the youth of today are actually volunteering their time. I mean, as much as 25% of the students we're surveying were spending a day a week volunteering for causes that they care about. Now, I don't know about you, Ben, but I wanted when I was 16, any spare time was skateboarding or messing around. I just think that we need to constantly, as an education system, be adapting and responding to the changing nature of the youth that are coming in, that are coming in. Like it's not the same, and one generation is not going to be the same as the next, and one student is not going to be the same as the next.
I find it interesting though that you were kind of surprised by that reaction, because I think if you think about this generation that's coming up, they're looking at us. They're looking at we are the young professionals of the world today, and our parents before us are the next generation of entrenched professionals. And they're looking at how we as the new guard are fighting this, broken system. They're seeing how little results we're having. For me, it makes perfect sense that they would feel inspired to be making a greater effort, because they see how hard it is for the young entrepreneurs who are coming up. So.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. And I mean, what was interesting about that is the more I started, the granularity I started getting around what the causes and challenges that they care about, the more I saw that it mapped almost exactly to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And so one of the founding tenets of Valenture Institute was, well, you can still study subjects like maths, science, geography, etc., but we want to constantly orientate those subjects around the world's biggest challenges. So you're not just learning algebraic equations for the sake of learning algebraic equations. You're learning about them so that you can understand how they might be applied in solving the world's biggest problems. So this idea of a challenge-driven learning it's not a new concept, but I struggle to understand why it's not more regularly implemented.
I have a question. A question just come in on the Facebook chat here from Michelle Jack. She said, "My son is dyslexic, such a wonderful out-the-box thinker. Could a school like this cater for a child like him?"
So we've actually got quite a few students who would be considered kind of special needs or on the needing additional support, for which the traditional school system doesn't necessarily work. Sure. For dyslexia specifically, we would want to do, we have an education psychologist who is part of the team who does assessments of students. And we want to make sure that as part of the admissions process, we do a comprehensive interview with the student, with the parents, and just make sure that we have the appropriate capabilities to service that students. So absolutely, please do reach out to our admissions team. You can get them on admissions@valentureinstitute.com. Awesome. And we'd be happy to go through an admissions conversation and exploratory chat.
And Rob, my understanding is it's different a little. This platform is different from like a traditional homeschooling in that it's not like all on the parents. It's very interactive. It's basically one click away from being in the classroom, but not having to actually physically be in the classroom. And there's a lot of support for kids. Am I right in saying that? Talk to me about like how exactly it works, right. the backbone.
This isn't just like UNISA.
Yeah. You're not just left to your own devices.
I'm afraid that unfortunately, the idea that we can just make content freely available and all the students out there just going to teach themselves and just give them access to a tablet and it's all going to take care of itself. It's just, sorry guys, it's just wrong. For 99% of the population, it's just wrong.
Myself included,
And right here as well, Jules. I mean, I think one of the things that I'm most thoughtful on in education, and a friend actually said this to me very well a couple of months ago, we underestimate the degree to which learning is an emotional process, and we overestimate the degree to which it is a cognitive and a intellectual process. Yes. And maybe said slightly differently, the base of emotion that is created and the work for us as educators predominantly, by my estimation, is in engaging on the, let's call it the kind of socio-emotional, psychosocial elements of our whole human. We don't just arrive to school as vessels waiting to be filled with more intellectual knowledge. We come as humans with our challenges, with our insecurities, with our, you name it, we've got it as humans. And what I've found is that technology is a very, very poor substitute for the role of a real warmth of a human that is there to support you. Real connection, human to human, at a level that allows for that sort of vulnerability and so on, that really starts to open us up over time.
Well, it's
so in terms of,
I think that's the most important thing that a teacher has to know, is to be able to empathize with the different levels of what a student is going through, and then be able to react accordingly.
Absolutely, Ben. And I think one of the things that I'm very thoughtful on is that I think in the traditional education system, we ask our teachers to perform way too many jobs. So think of another industry where one person has to be a subject matter expert, a lesson planner, a lesson facilitator, an administrator, a social worker, a counselor, a sports coach, and the list goes on. It's just crazy. We haven't stepped back from our education system and said, why do we not have enough good teachers? Well, by my estimation, it's an unreasonable job description. It's like, well, how would we think that that's going to play out any differently? So one of the things that we did in my previous business, and that we're focusing really hard on now, is effectively disaggregating that role of a teacher into its component parts, and then putting experts into every one of those fields. So as an example, we have a separate team that deals with curriculum design, a separate team that does the learning facilitation, separate team that does administration, separate team, and this is really critical, that does mentorship. So these are education psychologists, these are counselors, and they are paired with students from day one for the full duration of their studies. A separate team that does technical support and so on. And really, guys, I think one of the biggest opportunities with online education is the fact that we can use learning analytics to pool the activities of each one of these professionals and make it a cohesive experience for our learners. And that's just awesome. Such a fundamental enabler of online and digital.
That's incredible.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. Any thoughts on expanding potentially to primary schools as well? I know you're only just doing the high school at the moment.
So we're doing high school for the moment. We will definitely be offering younger grades in years to come. My personal view is that we need to be cautious of online only. It can be quite effective, at least by my estimation, up until about grades, at the lowest kind of grade 6 or so. Before that, I'm a very firm believer in blended learning and the role that technology can play in order to augment the role of teachers. But there's so much tactile development going on in the younger years. There's so much social development that's just kind of you in your space relative to others and so on, that I'm a big advocate for online and digital, but I don't think it's a silver bullet to be applied at every level of the education system. I mean,
just last question. Are there any, obviously, like you said, you talk about social interactions. Are there any components, and I'm sure this is still, it's building itself, but the intention to actually have social environments where kids can get together and actually, see each other in the flesh, and you can hang out with your fellow students. Is that part of the plan?
Great question, Jules. So we're actually now launching, in addition to our online-only offering, we're launching a series of what we call boutique campuses. So these boutique campuses effectively will be blended learning environments. These are purposefully small schools. 80 students would be quite typical. So again, kind of considering the fact that normal schools have like 2,000, 1,000, 2,000 plus students, like we just get lost in that, you know.
Sure.
And with the methodology that we're using, we can stand up these schools and make them economically viable at like 60 students, and it can work. So there's two things that are happening there. The one is that we're standing up these boutique campuses for students who purposely want to attend this kind of blended learning classroom. But then also for our online-only students, they have a physical space that they can come to when they want to interact with others, when they want to partake in some of the social activities that we offer our students and so on. So yes, absolutely, increasingly so.
I think that for me is the only kind of call it. I mean, everything has an up and a downside. That would be the one kind of downside, I guess. But if there is a way around it and a way to balance that out, then this sounds like the future. I mean, like somebody said, one of the guys commented now, to move away from the educational sausage factory is what is needed right now. Amazing educational service that would have been amazing to have when I was a child. Yeah. I think a lot of people probably feel the same way. But I just wanted to say, Rob, thank you so much for being on the show and for telling us about what you're doing. I think it takes strong minds and strong conviction to be able to make change, and what you and your brother, what you and your brother Sam have done and what you continue to do, it's a wonderful thing, and you guys are facilitating beautiful change in the world. It's really awesome to see, and long may you prosper.
Well, thank you, Jules. I really appreciate that, and thank you, Ben and Jules. Really appreciate that, and likewise to you guys. Just incredible kind of beacon of light right now for all of us. So thank you.
Thank you so much. No, nice to see you.
Oh, dude, just well done, man. It's
awesome.
It's as Jules said. I think it's such a gift to humanity that you're bringing this kind of forceful change. And yeah, I love what that guy said, the sausage factory, and wishing that we weren't all part of that. But I suppose, maybe we wouldn't be doing what we're doing if we hadn't gone through it.
Absolutely. Great guys.
Thanks so much, Rob. Have a wonderful weekend. That's Rob
Thanks,
Paddock, everybody, the founder of Valenture Institute, and such a great concept. The world is changing, thoughts are and ideas are moving fast ahead to just facilitate a new way of approaching life, and school's very much a part of that. And I think what they're doing is wonderful, incredible, and is going to have a far-reaching effect, not just in South Africa, but around the world. Kind of education, part of education is music. It's one of the subjects that you can take at school, and music is something that we are very, very, very passionate about on this show, obviously being musicians. And today I'm super excited because we have somebody here. I think this is the first musician that we have from outside of South Africa today. He's coming in all the way from Los Angeles, and he's performing for you live on the Lockdown. He's one of my favorite singer-songwriters. Had a massive hit a couple of years ago called Catch and Release, and he's going to be performing for you a new song on the show today, specifically for you. Then we're going to catch up with him. Ladies and gentlemen, performing his track, this is Matt Simons.
It's a song about communication in relationships and how important it is. I feel like everybody can relate to being on either side of, I need you to talk to me. You're not telling me everything that I need. You're not telling me everything that you're feeling. I don't know. I know I've been on both of those sides. The one that needs to share and the one that wants the partner to share. So I wrote the song about that. It's called Open Up. You're hard to talk to. That wall around you don't look at me that way. What can I do to build that bridge to find you? I don't know what to say. Come on and open up my love. Why don't you tell me what's really on your mind? Come on and open up my love. Tell me what you need so we don't have this fight. Come on and
what's really on your mind. I know you want to do that thing you always do. You get in your head, and that door, it stays shut. It puts this space between us. You make it hard to guess. Come on and open up my love. Why don't you tell me what's really on your mind? Come on and open up my love. Tell me what you need so we don't have this fight. Come on and open up my love. I know it's in front, you've been hiding behind. Come on and open up my love. Why don't you tell me what's really on your mind? I don't believe the last thing that I said. The real reason you're so sad. Come on and open up my love. Why don't you tell me what's really on your mind? Come on and open up my love. Tell me what you need so we don't have this fight. Come on and open up my love. I know it's a front you've been hiding behind. Come on and open up my love. Why don't you tell me what's really on your mind? Open up, on and open up. Open up. Come on and open up.
There we go. That was Matt Simons, all the way from Los Angeles. And what is really, really cool is that we met him a couple of years ago on a Parklife gig up in Durban. And we had this epic experience where it was myself, Matt Simons, and Gavin James, who's a very famous musician from Ireland. And De Hoffner was there as well, actually. It was this crazy melting pot of musicians from all around the world. And we sat in the hotel lobby and we jammed one of his, the most famous song that he has, Catch and Release, in the lobby. And I thought I'd just play you a little quick snippet just so you can remember what it is. Just, no, disclaimer, we were a little bit pitchy. We'd had some whiskey, but here you go. This is all three of us trying to sing together, Catch and Release.
Everybody got their reasons, everybody got their way. We're just catching and releasing what builds up throughout the day. And it gets into your body, and it flows right through your blood. We can tell each other secrets, remember how to love. Da-da-dum-da-dum-dum-dum. Oh, da-dum-dum-dum. I'm going, no one knows me. If I breathe real slowly, let it out and let it in. Can be terrifying to be slowly dying, also clarifying. We end where we begin, so let it wash over me. I'm ready to lose my feet. Take me out to the place where word reveals life's mystery. Steady on down the line, lose every sense of time. Take it all in and wake up, that's remind me. Day to day I'm blinded
To see and find how far to go. Everybody got their reasons. Sorry, I'm just still in that zone. That was myself, Gavin James and Matt Simons and De Hoffner all just jamming in a hotel lobby in Durban somewhere. Good memories, good times. It was crazy because I got to just play with him for like 3 hours. We're just doing cover song after cover song. It was really epic. And now we interviewed him for the lockdown last night because right now in LA it is very, very, very early in the morning. So I think it's like midnight, like 1 o'clock in the morning. So we decided instead of putting him through that, we would just pre-record his interview. So I interviewed him from my bed last night. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Matt Simons live on the Lockdown.
There we go. Yeah. I can hear you now, yes. Oh my gosh, I'd never thought I'd be talking to Matt Simons from my, like literally from my bed. But hello.
It's the only place to talk from now.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. Tell me about it. So you just moved to LA from New York City?
Yeah, it's strange timing. So, we bought a house here in like February, kind of before everything started. And we had to move. So we had to do our 2 weeks in quarantine in New York and then get on a plane and then do 2 weeks of quarantining here. And yeah.
And are you enjoying the sunshine? Is it like a whole different thing, or are you missing the city?
Yeah, I gotta be honest, it was nice to get out of New York and more space here and more room to go outside. Yeah, it's definitely. I grew up in California, so come home.
Okay, so it's not so unfamiliar to you, because I wasn't sure where you were. I know you spent a lot of time. I mean, you're kind of like known as a New York-based artist, right? But I wasn't sure whether that was home, as in like where you grew up, or whereabouts did you grow up in California?
I grew up in the Bay Area, so it's about 6 hours to drive from here up to where I grew up. And I left when I was 18. I studied jazz in New York.
Ah, cool.
So that was my trajectory for a while. I wanted to be a jazz saxophone player.
Yeah.
But that's changed a little bit. Yeah.
And are you still playing saxophone?
I play like one solo per concert. So I mean, there was one tour where I scrapped it, and I got a lot of complaints from the audience. People wanted to hear, they were disappointed that the saxophone didn't make it to that tour. So this last tour that we just did in the fall, I had it back out.
Okay, back by popular demand. So you just recently moved from LA. You were based in New York, and before that, and because like when I met you, I don't know, I didn't really picture you being from New York. It was surprising for me to hear that you were from New York. I don't know, something about your personality. But did you feel part of the music culture there? Did you feel like it was something that you really loved, or was it something that you kind of, wanted to get away from, and now you're in LA? Or, what was it like living there? I just want to start with that one.
I mean, it was a great place as a young musician to sort of cut my teeth. And, there's so much live music that goes on in the city. Sure. I played, 4 or 5 nights a week in bars, and as far as like playing piano and singing, I had never done too many gigs until I moved to New York, and then I was doing it all the time. Yeah. 3 hours, sometimes up to like 6 hours a night.
Jeez.
Just playing and really going. And that feels like I, sort of got a foundation for being a touring musician.
Yeah. I know, but because I noticed that about you when we met you. I mean, and we were playing in the lobby for so long, and you were jamming on piano. It was like anyone could just call a song, and you'd be like, no, a few seconds, and then just playing it. So, I mean, clearly that was just your grounding from playing 6-hour shows, right? Just learning music.
Totally. I mean, it's the best way to start. For any young musician, you just got to get out there and play.
Yeah, as much as you can.
Want to skip that step. They just want to go straight to, straight to
being famous.
Just right. Skip the part where you have to start for a while.
Yeah, totally. And tell me now, obviously you're mostly known, especially in South Africa, for your big hit that you had, Catch and Release, the remix, and then the original, because I think the remix was the first introduction to it on the dance floors of our country. And then the next thing, everyone was interested in where the song originated from, and then the second wave, which was the more your original acoustic, more kind of raw version, and songwriting. So is that something that you developed, or is it something that you've always done, like from studying, or is it something that you actually like grew a passion for?
I always had a passion for it. It was kind of like my little secret. I never played out. I would write songs and I would keep them to myself.
Yeah.
Because I was studying music. I was studying jazz, and sort of pop music isn't necessarily seen as a legitimate art form in the jazz scene.
Sure. No, I hear you.
I kind of had to keep it as my secret hobby for a while until eventually I just made that switch and decided that was what I wanted to pursue and start playing out. Saw more opportunities in that for sure, in playing and writing original music. So
definitely,
just made the switch. But I'd done it since I was very young, and it took a long time before I actually wrote a song that I was proud of. That I actually was like, oh, I would record this and upload it to the internet. And it took probably 50 to 100 songs before I got.
And was Catch and Release the first one for you? Were there many before that? Because obviously that was the first one we were introduced to as a global audience.
No, I'd been writing songs before I wrote that one for probably 15 years, but nothing of note necessarily.
Okay, no, it takes, I call songs idea fairies, and sometimes it takes a while for the little idea fairy to visit you and be like, hey, man, I got a good one for you, and it's such a great song. It's one of those songs for me that when I first heard it, I was like, damn it, I wish I'd written this. Be like, why didn't I write this song? It's so good, and the lyrics are just so kind of, they cut you, and it connects with a lot of people. And I think now, especially in this time, it's also quite relevant because a lot of people are going through this mind shift in some way, shape or form. I don't know what the mood is like in America at the moment, but in South Africa, it seems to be there's a lot less ego in the space and a lot more togetherness in the space. And I don't know if it's the same feeling in America or what the mood's like there right now, but actually it would be really cool to hear from you how it's feeling.
I think it's really tough here. There's a real disconnect between sort of local leadership,
internet,
messages being sent to people, and it's tough to know what to do and know how to act because you've got mayors and governors saying one thing, and then you've got the federal government and the president saying a whole other thing, and sort of contributing to this conspiracy theory thing that's going around now. And I think it's tough for Americans to all band together and get behind sort of one set of rules.
Yeah, I hear you.
And that's why I think as a country we're failing. It's not getting better; it's getting worse.
I'm sorry to hear that. I think what people also need to remember, though, it's a very big country with lots of different. It's kind of like every state is basically like a country, and everyone's going to have a different approach, I guess, per state even. And we look at America and go, wow, you guys it's going crazy there, and it seems like it's a little bit out of control. But also have to remember the scale. It's a much bigger place than most places, so.
It is. It definitely is, but I wouldn't excuse the incompetence of the government at the federal level to bring a unified force
approach. Yeah, no, I know.
If they wanted to, they could bring people together.
Yeah, I hear you. I was speaking to my friend Lisa Kikaula. She's a really great singer, also from your part of the world. And she was telling me how people, in America, people just seem to be self-governing. They just I'm going to isolate myself because that's what I want to do. I'm going to be safe, and no one's really giving me the rules to do it, but I'm just going to do it anyway,
Right.
So, yeah.
I feel like the only rule in keeping people in line is sort of hang on the internet. People are gathering to take a picture, look at these jerks all gathering. That's the only way of actually having any accountability. Which is not the best.
Yeah. Man, the internet's going a bit whack. I don't know if it's on my side or your side, but you're glitching out a little bit. Am I glitching out to you as well?
No, you're clear. Yeah, am I frozen?
You freeze every now and again, and then now you're gone.
How about, is it?
It's a bit better
back?
now. Yeah, it's a bit better now.
A bit better.
Yeah.
Can walk. Yeah, I'm not bad.
That's it.
Yeah, it's fine. We're just a completely empty room.
Wow. Sure, I know. Because I suppose you can't get anything, right? Because
just have to kind of wait.
Oh.
Wait it out.
Wait it out. Do you have a bed?
Got a mattress on the floor.
Got a mattress. Okay, it's better than nothing.
Not a bed yet. Better than nothing.
That's cool.
No couches. Like we ordered a couple of couches, but the factories were shut down.
Everything's closed. Yeah, cheap as well.
Sitting in like a lawn chair.
Sure.
In the empty room.
And Matt, like as a musician, how have you found the adjustment from, touring? You had a tour in the fall last year, and you had probably one planned for this year, I'm sure, for the summer. To suddenly just, nothing. How has your approach been? Have you been trying to use the time to be creative? Have you been trying to use the time to just chill, or readjust your approach to how you're going to perform? Maybe, I don't know, what has been your mindset through this whole thing?
Yeah, it's funny. At the end of last year, I was saying to myself, I really want to travel less. And it's kind of like the monkey's paw, Like, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, totally.
I've got a bunch of new songs that I was working on I wrote last year, getting those ready for release. So could be putting out new music and no concerts this year, but I do think writing sessions will start up again here, and we'll be able to spend sort of time in the room with one other person.
Yeah,
as long as you can keep a safe distance. I think that's not gonna be shut down. We're already, even in California, they're already starting to open up some retail stores, and we're getting things slightly back to normal for now. But I'm planning on just doing some writing and relaxing, trying to get settled in a new place. Yeah.
Good.
I'll definitely miss being on the road and miss playing. Even just the few concerts that I did have to play this year, I'm really sad that will happen.
They're not happening. Yeah, I'm sure. And speaking of concerts and memories, and the audience in South Africa who's watching will be really upset with me if I didn't ask you about your time when you came out to perform. Did you enjoy yourself? Did you have a good time?
We had a blast. Flew down from Amsterdam, just straight down to the other end of the world. I'd never been to Africa before. That was the first experience, and we had such a warm welcome, and those two festivals were amazing. Well, Park Life, right?
Yeah, Park Life, totally.
Park Life. It was just really a blast, and we got driven around a little bit and showed around Joburg, and got to see some of that. Durban, walking around on the beach, and the monkeys all running around. It was such fond memories. I would love to come back.
So that was my next question. Are you coming back when we invite you? You're gonna be back.
No plans. I haven't been booked back.
No, I'm saying when we invite you, you're definitely game.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Definitely. Can't wait.
So happy to hear that.
Gotta get to Cape Town next time.
Yeah, Cape Town. That's to be honest, sorry to say this, but that's the best place. That's where I'm from, right? And that's where I am right now. I know there are a lot of people probably watching from other parts of the country, but anyway, Cape Town, you have to come to Cape Town next time, definitely.
That is on the list of must do.
Cool. So listen, before we wrap up, I have a special favor. I have a friend who's done a cover of your song. His name is Khoni G. He's a Jewish wedding singer. He's amazing, and he's like your biggest fan. I think he came to one of your little small concerts in New York City.
Oh, amazing.
I have some story. I can't remember the exact story, but it was one of those pinch me moments for him, and he was, I think, too shy to come say hello to you, and I don't know. Anyway, listen, why don't you just give him a shout out, say, hey, Khoni G, for me.
Khoni G, what's up, man?
There we go.
Next time you come to one of those little concerts, you gotta come say hi.
Oh man, you're gonna make his day, his life actually. I think he's gonna be so stoked. Matt, so listen, I really can't wait to hear new music from you. We can't wait to have you back out in South Africa, and I just hope that you get some furniture soon and that you can actually like properly move into your new spot.
Hey, we'll get there.
You'll get there. And yeah, I'm just sending you so much love. Everyone from South Africa just wanted to say thanks for the music.
Oh, thank you so much.
We're looking forward to the new releases, and yeah, man, just stay in touch.
I appreciate it, Jules. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Matt. Big love.
That was Matt Simons live on the Lockdown. I chatted to him last night from my bed. And so we thought we'd play you guys just a little bit of the snippet of Horny G's cover of his song Catching the Release. He recorded this right underneath Table Mountain. And this is, in case you're wondering who Horny G is, this is Horny G, my buddy from Cape Town.
There's a place I go to when no one knows me. It's not lonely, it's a necessary thing. It's a place I made up, find out what I made up. The nights I stayed up, counting stars and fighting sleep. Let it wash over me, ready to lose my feet. Take me to the place where one reveals life's mystery. Steady on down the line, lose every sense of time. Take it all in and wake up that small part of me. Day to day I'm blind to see and find how far to go. Everybody got their reason, everybody got their way. We just catch it and release it, what builds up throughout the day. It gets into your body, it flows right through your blood. We can tell each other secrets and remember how to love. Ooh,
And that was Horny G singing Catch and Release in front of Table Mountain. What an awesome friend of mine. And he got a shout out specifically from Matt Simons today. I think he'll be very stoked about that. So guys, that concludes our show. It's a weekend. I hope you guys have an epic weekend planned. If you don't have anything planned tonight, great news. On CapetownLive.com, on the Facebook page, they're going to be live streaming a set from one of Cape Town's most iconic DJs, DJ Ready D. If you don't know a little bit about it, this is what's coming up tonight. Sorry guys, the video is bugging out a little bit, but anyway, I'll tell you all about it. Ready D is going to be live on the Facebook page of CapetownMagazine.com, and we're going to get him in to chat next week and tell us all about what he does. Trust me, he's going to be hitting that vinyl really hard and scratching and doing all those kind of old school approaches that DJs kind of don't really do anymore. And he's like the king of scratching. So you must tune in tonight for a good party. Throw up the sound system. It's going to be such a jam on CapetownMagazine.com. And yeah, guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope that you have something planned. If you are wanting to get in touch with us, you can grab us on the phone line. The number is on your screen right now. Hit us up on the WhatsApp. It's Mother's Day on Monday. If you want to send your mother a WhatsApp video shout out, we're going to be playing them live. And also we've got all the people that bought masks last week. We had some deliveries that went out, and And we would love to share the pictures. This is a little picture. Here we go. Of everyone who bought a mask for you last week. There we go. Shout out to you guys for supporting us and for supporting our feeding program. Those are all the lovely people they're getting their deliveries of the Luck masks from Tim, who went out on the van. And so if you guys want to grab yourself a mask, you can at bit.ly.com/GoodLuck mask. We will bring it direct to your door, countrywide in South Africa, and they obviously protect you. They protect your friends. They protect everyone from spreading this virus around, and we helping flatten the curve.
And if you want to send a shout out to your mom for Mother's Day, we'll send a little video. You can totally do that.
Do it. Got the band phone here, and oh, we're back, guys. If you want to send out your mother a shout out, do so on our band phone 071 447 0333, and we will be sending these out on Monday, playing them out on the screen on the lockdown. Do something nice for your mom. You know, she's been very good to you your whole life. She's cleaned up your bedroom, she's done your laundry, she's loved you, she's fed you. You know, send her out a nice shout out for her Mother's Day, because I'm sure a lot of you are not going to be able to be with your moms on Sunday. Big hugs to everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Sorry we went over time a little bit today, but we hope you had a good one, and we hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. Till next time, everybody love everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good night.